and locked her in the cage. After saying this, Seth leaves her alone again. Over the next several days, they engage in psychological mind games against each other as Holly begins to slip details to draw Seth in. He maintains that Holly committed the other murders out of guilt for not being caught over Claire, but Holly counters that she kills simply for pleasure. Holly even acts differently to try and garner his pity, but Seth knows her well from her writings, so he tells her to cut the act. She then starts banging her head in the steel cage and tells him that if she dies there, Seth will be caught and will never be able to get out of this mess. Seth is intimidated by Holly's behavior, so he leaves her alone again. He doesn't visit her for the next few days. When he finally returns, Holly asks him for something to eat, but Seth tells her that he's torturing her by not giving her any food because of how she acted a few days ago. However, Seth eventually decides to get her food after she manages to manipulate him in a sweet voice. While Seth gets out of the basement, a suspicious Nate follows him and discovers Holly. However, she deliberately distracts Nate so that Seth, who has returned with food, has time to overpower him. At Holly's manipulation and much urging, Seth smashes Nate's skull with a cinder block. The poor security guard falls dead on the floor. Holly then creepily laughs, telling Seth that now she has made him just like her, a murderer. Seth starts freaking out, having realized what he has done under her influence. Holly then instructs him on how to dump a dead body. She tells him to remove the teeth first, as this way the body cannot be identified, and tells him to cut it into small pieces and feed them to the dogs in the center. Seth follows her instructions and burns the rest of the body. He also removes his fingerprints from everywhere. However, the disappearance of his coworker doesn't go unnoticed by the police. The cops start their investigation by interrogating everyone at the workplace. As they question Seth, they get suspicious of him. They even put him as a suspect after how Seth responded to their questions. In the meantime, Seth is convinced that he and Holly can forge a relationship based on mutual love. To prove his love for her, he even cuts off his own finger. Holly then grabs Seth's knife and threatens to kill herself if he doesn't open her cage. Left with no choice, he frees her. The manipulative woman then tells Seth that she believes he loves her and that she loves him back. The two of them kiss before Holly cuts Seth's throat. After this, she manages to escape from the basement. Months pass, and we see Holly is finally back together with Eric. Apparently, her fictional events from her journal are being published by Vanity Press. However, Holly finds evidence that Eric has been cheating again, but this time she doesn't want to do anything about it. Instead, she travels to an abandoned warehouse where we see that Seth has been kept in a cage, still alive but horribly mutilated and tortured. He is also mute from his throat injury. Holly thanks him for saving her by allowing her to take out all of her murderous impulses on him instead.